So, getting back to this mod, I did quite a bit of level design, namely some rudimentary player behavior, and these supply crates now give you obtainable weapons. So you'd start with the sword, get the rifle here, and have to deal with enemies either guarding a position or following you. And here you have a larger army patrolling a position and more guards. So each of these crates gives you some kind of a resource. Like this one will give you rockets, which are a consumable resource, as well as this one right here. And now these enemies follow you, stop within shooting range, and will begin to attack. And of course you can shoot down these and take out this army with a rocket. So then you run into another patrolling army, some more guards with heavy weapons. Make it all the way here, another patrolling soldier, and you obtain the final weapon. So now, one thing worth noting is just how much of a leap it is from starting a video game to at least attempting to finish it, because just how much complexity you get from pipelining and organizing everything down. And it's almost a problem of dimensionality, where starting with all the weapons with infinite ammo, like you have an object with just 2 to 3 dimensions, but then having them obtainable across the map, having all the organization, all the state machines for clicks, and making sure these item crates are robust. And as I was saying, we have a pretty complete mock-up of the level now, and the only thing left to add is some kind of a system of enemy fire and enemy damage. So that will be the big challenge of the session. And I guess we can take a brief overview of the code and look at what we have. So, of course, just more particles for enemies and player hits, the usual rockets, weapons, really boiled down. And now we have these barrels acting as obtainables, which either give you guns, rockets, or some kind of game objective, such as finding an item and taking it to the victory spot and things like that. And everything else is the usual. Of course, you can see I've added quite a lot of enemies, having completed the level more or less. And as far as the enemy movement, as you've noticed, they follow you around. It was actually a pretty simple copy and paste job of taking the player controls, using that same speed and acceleration mechanism, and simply applying acceleration towards the direction of the player if the player crosses some enemy radius. Of course, all enemy behavior is activated when the enemy is inside the scene box. I guess for the sake of efficiency and visualization, I don't know, maybe in the future they can do stuff outside. But for now, for simplicity, we have that, and they move a little slower so that your average QBasic user can get away and regroup and all that. And otherwise, here you have all the obtainable item coordinates. And that's that. A few things cleaned up, a few things removed. So the first thing I wanted to do, something that's been bothering me for a while here, is let's see. In the redraw section, the graphical section, when a player fires a rifle or a machine gun, it draws this indicator line showing where, or rather showing the trajectory of a weapon. And now that I have it removed, you don't see it anymore. And sometimes it doesn't pick up in the video because it only shows up for a single frame. But if I uncomment it, the issue here is that even though I can't kill this enemy through the tile, it still draws the line right through. And just to get warmed up, I'd like to fix that so that it doesn't do that and it terminates at the tile. So we'll start here. And what we want is something like this. Hopefully no variable conflicts. Can remove this. Even remove this. And all we want to do is this, put it here, and change this to and something like this should work. So it doesn't shoot through tile, but it should shoot through the enemies. Let's test this out. So it shoots through enemies, but it doesn't shoot through tiles. Can even use the machine gun, yeah. Like and yeah, you can see the short range of the machine gun for now. Okay, this is a nice spot. Yeah. So even though it's not the most efficient, I want this for aesthetic's sake and to give me a convenient piece of code to compute enemy gunfire trajectories. So let's copy this whole block as a reference, because we're gonna have to repeat it for enemy gunfire. And all our enemy behavior happens right here. Okay, let's make a global line just to test. If this happens, Same thing here. And then all I have to do is just redraw this. Line. So something like this. So let's carefully test this. So here is the enemy fire trajectory. And here is the guard on the top. And as you can see, it flickers between the two. And if I hide underneath him, he cannot reach me. And so the same should work out here. Get a lot of this stuff going on. And now I've shot these and I'm safe from all of these. And here he can shoot me as I jump to get this crate here. So now let's see if we can set the correct weapon range based on the enemy type. So here we have a range of 200 by default. And this is just going to be a conditional block, and if I remember correctly, it's going to look like enemy type. So the first thing I'm going to do is give each enemy a firing period so that instead of all firing at once, they'll fire at some random interval. So let's do that. And now we'll have to, I guess, define it for each enemy. Might as well. So I gave them a random period, starting period, so that they don't fire at you immediately at once, giving you maybe some time to react. And also much like the rifle, which shoots at a certain frequency, all enemies now shoot at the frequency of a rifle. So something like that, and we can maybe randomize it a little bit. Just a game dev parameter. And obviously, as you can see, if you get a whole army on you, you're taking quite a bit of frequent damage until you take out, let's say, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. And now the damage is a bit more reasonable. So to select how fast this damage is dealt, we're gonna take into account the enemy type. So here, another conditional case enemy select. Use this as a placeholder. So if it's a type class 1 and class 2 enemies, class 2 will have the period of rifle, let's say. Let's give it a handicap of like 20%ish and make it random. Let's say this. Oh yeah, every time I multiply by a random, I have to make it an integer. So here you see some, maybe even make it 50%. Let's say I'll make this function period. I don't know, I like the idea of having them being able to fire. What if we go like this? And this, okay, I see. Let me just remove this. If enemy hit, after we make the blood particles, we do the damage calculation. And before, we don't even care about damage. So let's see now. Okay, this makes sense. And now we can handicap the range a little bit, like 80% maybe. So he's firing, but about there he can reach, yeah. Okay. Another thing I wanted to do is make the crates give you health as well. It should be quite easy to do somewhere. Not in here, but in player movement. So every time you collect a crate, you get 100 health. So then like that, 100 health again. And now you have to be a little careful. And these do quite a lot of damage, yeah. So you'd have to be careful. And one quick fix I should do is make the damage integer. Int. So yeah. Okay, let's do a quick run through. We got a rifle, we got our rockets, back to 100 health. We approach carefully, clean it up. Run into more enemies. So before I run through the final level and show you how to beat it, we'll take a quick little intermission to try out another GX game made with the same language and engine. And let's see what we're working with here. So so we grab the file, press run. Okay. Okay, so nice looking isometric graphics. Let's see what kind of weapons we have. Corn. So I've seeded the land here. But I can't seed this part. So let's try to use this hole to clear the weeds, I guess. Now let's start with a small little operation just on the side here. And I guess I'm gonna need to water them. And as these are growing, I'll do some more yard work. And I'm assuming that they're gonna grow eventually. Yeah, it's definitely nice, the isometric look. It's such a rich vehicle for artwork because it's both very simple, linear, and attractive. And a lot of my favorite games, including Civilization and Commandos and Age of Empires, have been isometric. Okay, so now our corn is flowering. Let's do another quick row here. Water these. And I guess you can't water weeds, but I guess to harvest I'll use this scythe, which should only work on corn. So there we go. Yeah. So what it said, I need 5,000, which isn't particularly convenient. So let's see what's going on in the code. Let's make this 50,000. So we start again. Quick little operation here. Let's water these. And we do some yard work as we wait for our thing to grow. Nice looking house here. Fence looks nice. Let's see what kind of files I'm dealing with. Tile set. Oh, here's our tile set. This is all the... Okay, there's our corn, so harvest. And do I win now? Okay, I'll go make a coffee then. So I guess here I'm gonna have to wait till October so I can cash the fuck in on this GMO fertilizer corn. But it's taken quite a while. Although interestingly, you notice the season change a little bit. So let's give this another couple of minutes. I guess as we're waiting, one thing I can do is make corn maze, just like at Steve's farm. So let's do that real quick. I don't know what you would call this, mindless waiting game or something. Something for Facebook, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully we'll get our corn maze finished by Halloween. Do some quick watering. And I guess we'll wait for this to grow. And I hear the music change. And we can start planting our corn maze, which can go like, I don't know, like this maybe. I don't know, like dead end here maybe. And so now our corn maze is done. Our corn is harvested and we just wait for the holiday. So just like Steve, our pesticide fertilizer corn is done. Our corn maze is done. We're not even gonna bother to clear out the weeds here. So now we just wait to cash the fuck in. Any second now. Okay. And I win. So that's that. Nice. So I'd say at this point, the game is complete. And I'm gonna do as a spoiler, if you don't want to play the game or do you want to see how to beat it, I'm just gonna attempt to beat the game real quick and show you all different ways you can beat it. So you land right here, and you make your way through east, killing all the enemies. Should be some more here. You just shoot them. Here you grab the rockets, and if you're smart, you'll keep the rockets for now. And let's see, get through some more armies. And here you gotta be careful because there's a sentry with a machine gun. Take him out. Of course, this would be tricky the first time, so this is kind of a spoiler. So now you get the machine gun, full health, and now you have to make your way up the staircase. And these things do a lot of damage, and the only way to kill them effectively is using the machine gun. Of course, you also take a lot of damage. And I'll just be real careful here not to die. And here you're faced with a lot of enemies. Just a simple cleanup here. And here's the trickiest part, so-called Steve's throne room. So here, if you try to fight Steve head-on, you'll get fucked up real quickly because he has like 1,000 health and machine guns. So what you want to do is go outside his range, about somewhere there, and kill him with 3 rockets. But of course he kills me, so what can you do? This is the final run of the game, so I'll not be doing any kind of cheats. So I'll have to beat it for real. So in anticipation of Steve's throne room, we'll be sure to have full health. And to do that, we'll have to be real efficient here. Like that. Here we get the machine gun, and real carefully clean this up. And just here you get a lot of enemies, but most importantly, there's another supply crate which gives you full health, and so this is the critical part. We head over to oh shit. Yeah, we've disturbed an army. Okay, so we gotta clean them up. And so this is the tricky part, not getting fucked up by Steve, so real carefully we approach the secret source code, and I die again. yeah, hopefully. Fuck. Okay, now this delicate. Have to be rather careful here. Just like that. Okay, so very carefully here. Quite a large army there. So then we'll just, in order to take on Steve, we'll have to resupply. So we clear out this room. Like so. And now the most critical part is defeating Steve and getting the secret source code. So let's very carefully do this demolition job. Like that. Source code obtained, so then we head over to the roof. And we can't get up, so we have another careful demolition job. Then we're up here, we hop on Steve's helicopter, which gives you some navigation. And if you're smart, you'll just keep your altitude high, avoiding what's down there, because if you try to land, you'll get fucked up, as you'll see shortly. But because it says here source obtained, that is the condition you need for victory. So then we land over here by this nice little valley. Nice little mountainous valley here. And as it said, by the apple tree at Mount Corey, we hop off. And here's our victory. So what happens if you attempt to, I guess let's explore a bit, take a look at the map. Let me just fly all the way back. And thankfully we have 100 health, so this will be good for demonstration. So here we are at Steve's house. We descend down to the valley here, or the plain. And we see that this coast breaks off like an island. We fly over here a little bit, and we see this mountainous range. And what happens is, if you try to land, you get fired at. You try to land here, you notice it's a canyon, so you climb back up, you get fired at again. And this happens for quite a few mountains, and you just get fucked up, unless you know where to land. So then that's the conventional Steve route to victory, and I'll show you the secret or the alternate victory conditions. So again, we make our way to Steve's compound. Taking out everything in its way. Here we gotta be careful. Grab the rockets. Again, take care of this. Take care of this other gunman. Grab the machine gun, important. And we head down to here. And you notice there's a little hint. Something is leads there, so presumably this is the secret entrance to Steve's basement. So we do a careful demolition job here. 2 rockets. And we save the other rockets because we'll need them. We take out the machine gun. And we're ready to face the D&D club over here. Being very careful. Quite a lot. Could maybe the rifle has a bit more range. And we end up here. So then we gotta do another demolition job with the rockets. And as you see, Starship found. So we found the secret copy of Starship Basic. And here's our Starship. We hop in. And we're stuck in this cave. So what do? We note that the Starship contains an infinite quantity of high velocity rockets. So we just simply fuck everything up in our way and escape as such. And what does this guy think he can do? This is an armored starship. Can do fuck all. So let's take a look what we're dealing with on the mainland. As we can see, this fucking asshole is firing at me. So we just take out the entire mountain. And note that this is a very treacherous terrain for helicopters. You try to land here, you end up in a valley, you climb up, and this position is already defended by Steve's forces. You try again, you go up, and you're under attack. Again, you go up, fuck off. Again, more enemies. And finally, you land on some kind of a hopefully peaceful area. And some nice walking hills. You climb up the first mountain. And it turns out to be Mount Quarry. And you obtain your victory condition. So that's that. The game is beatable and playable. And we'll call it there.